when the disaster happened on March the 11th, 2011, all around the world the news spread and everybody was so shocked that this could happen. It's like the worst thing that could possibly happen in Japan. Everybody internationally wanted to know, how can we help? What can we do? So when we go to the affected areas, I'm so aware that the story hasn't stopped. And I think for the areas that are affected and the people that live there, you know, they can't just close their eyes to it. There's a sense that as the world moves on from this disaster, the government is encouraging Japanese people to move on from this disaster. But the areas where we're going, the worst affected areas, they don't get to just move on from it. And they're still living with it. I just want to talk to people. Let them be themselves with me, let them know that as a representative of a business that is trying to do something, we really care, we deeply care, we want to continue our support, we're not going to forget them.
Save Iwate is a group that uses items which have been given in aid to create new things. So every week a group of women come together and they use old kimonos to create dolls or to create purses. And the extraordinary thing is that by doing this, by coming together, they have goals to work towards, and those goals give their life something to strive for.
特に女の人たちは何もしていないとすごく不安で孤独になりがちなので、ともかく手を動かしましょう。お仕事をしながら何かおしゃべりをしながらお話ししましょうということで。
The tsunami swept away all of her life, so she had to move from the coast to Morioka, where she arrived and with her husband, and she was all alone. So she joined Save Iwate to find a community and to find something to do.
毎日が退屈で、そしてお友達はもちろんいませんから、やっぱりつまらなかったんじゃないかなって、やっぱりこうメリハリがない生活になってたんじゃないかなと思うんですよ。やっぱりこう一生懸命こう手で仕事して時間を精一杯使って、また明日もこれしなきゃないなってこう目標みたいなのがありますと、その点は生きがいになってたっていうか、毎日有意義に過ごせたのかなと思ってますね。その間はね、津波のこと忘れてるんです。
Getting the order meant that they had a reason to get together and sit down and create these aprons together. And because they were spending so much time sitting with each other and working, it meant that they had time to communicate and share stories about what had happened to them and about their fears for the future.
すごく皆さんの自信ができたんです。本当にもう頑張り屋っていうか、ガッツがあるので、めげずに思わず拍手しました。
Can't imagine at all what they've been through, but the power and grace with which they survive every single day with all of this hard history is so inspiring and makes me feel proud and humbled. Fairtrade Tohoku works specifically to help vulnerable people. For example, they coordinate social farms and they go and visit old people in temporary housing to make sure that they're okay.
毎日同じように家があることが本当に嬉しいと思いますもん。で 例えばこんな感じで今何もないところなんですけれども、ここに例えば何百軒の家があったって聞いたらびっくりしますよね。
Miss Chiba is from Ishinomake City, which is one of the worst affected areas.
今まで皆さんからいただいた言葉とか、本当にらしさをきっかけにっていう言葉もたくさん自分持ってるので、できる時間にお伝えして持ち帰っていただけたらなって思って、その伝えたいことがいっぱいで、私今アップアップなんですそれくらい本当にすごいんですよ。
Miss Chiba told us that the residents at the temporary housing were really happy to have a routine that meant they would go out into the fields and work together on the potato farm, and that they could know that the potatoes that they were growing would be put into Lush products and sold all around Japan.
週に1回カレンダーに丸をつけることで、その週の流れが気持ちがやっぱり変わるそうなんです。そういうきっかけを与えてくださったっていうことで、本当に感謝していると思います。
And for us, it means that every time we sell one of those products, we can feel so pleased that we're connected to this story of these people coming together, gaining confidence, and working towards their future.
やっぱり楽しいですよね。はい。やっぱりみんなとこう話すもできるし、ずっと続けていってもらいたいですね。
When she got there, she was isolated, she felt alone, and so she was the first person to join the social farm.
お話しして笑ったりね、悩みを打ち明けたり、みんな被災だからやっぱりね、みんな悲しい思いしてね、してるのよ。
And she went out and tried to get more and more people involved because of this positive impact that it had on her life. And she was so surprised at the community and the connections that she made from working out on the social farm, and also at the hope that it gave her of a future to work towards because of the potatoes that they were growing that were then used in Lush products, and it even brought them an income.
自分たちでね、もうほらやったやつでね、じゃがいもでね、こういうね素晴らしい商品が出るっていうのが皆さんもう感激で、これでってじゃあ一生懸命っていうのでね、もうね。ソー
シャルファームの良さっていうのは、自分を受け入れてくれる場所がある、その参加した方たちが感じることだと思うんですね。自分一人でいると自分を肯定することって難しいんですけど、ここにいるとみんなが受け入れてくれるって思うから、自分らしく楽しく過ごしているんだと思います。
And so they've all been working together, survivors, volunteers, to help each other and to build a way forward in the future for this area.
震災の年からもう3年になるんですけど、この変化って人との関わりが増えてきた方はやっぱり違うんですよ。本当に物とか建物の復興ってよりも、その人自身の問題じゃないですか。その人を動かすのってやっぱり人だと思うんですね。だからこういう仕事させていただいて、人と関わることが本当に私多いなって思ってるので、やっぱり本当人って大切だなって思います。
Kirikiri works to establish the practice of sustainable forestry as an alternative to traditional methods. They work with local people who might have been farmers or fishermen before the tsunami, but after the disaster, they have lost their livelihoods.
今は山の手入れが40年近くほとんどされてないから豊かな海じゃないです。昔の豊かな海取り戻すために私たちは木こりになって人工林の手入れしてる。
Mr. Hager told us that the forest is the lover of the ocean, and the ocean is the lover of the forest. And this begins with a well-maintained forest. Because if you let the sun in, then it can create the vegetation and the flow of the forest. And when the rain comes and takes the soil from the forest into the sea, that soil gives nutrition to the sea. And so you have a balanced ecosystem.
津波の後から避難所生活が始まって、隅に燃えてた焚き火の炎を見つめてました。うまく言い表せませんけど、その避難所の焚き火の炎がいろんなことを教えてくれたような気がしてます。 犠牲者の人たちの苦しみ悲しみをおめえの背中に背負い続けて生きていけって、真夏の炎天下30分仕事続けると足腰動かなくなりますけど、そういう時私は空を見上げて犠牲者のことを思い出すようにしています。必ずそこから、背中に背負ったものがまた足を動かすようなパワーを与えてくれてます。
For sustainable forestry industry, there needs to be a demand for the thin timber. And so, in our small way, Lush are really happy to be able to help by buying Mr. Hager's wood for our shop refits. During my time in Tohoku, I met people who are still rebuilding their lives, still recovering from the tsunami. They really know how precarious existence can be. So what is really extraordinary to me is how they are approaching their future. They are really searching for deep connections with one another, activities to do together, people to connect with. And I think that this openness that they have is because they understand more than anyone that it's person-to-person connections that count when you're trying to survive, that make you believe that there are things worth living for and that give you a future. So for us, I think the most important thing for people living on the other side of the world is that we feel part of that connection, that we don't forget them, and that we let them know again and again that they are remembered, and how inspiring they are.
誰も知らない国で僕は